New year, new set, same host. You already know what it is. NFL 2021 predictions coming at you right now. Week 1, here we come, baby. Today is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. A bit later than I was hoping I'd film this video. I was hoping I'd have it done Monday, and then I was hoping I'd have it done Tuesday. But, yeah, I didn't quite get to it. So today, here we go. Happy Tuesday, guys. Nope, happy Wednesday. Forgot the day. I wish it was Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, and that's a sad day because today is the last day of summer. Tomorrow is my first day of school. Thursday, September 9th, is my first day of school. So, how fitting that on the last day of summer to film an NFL video. Yes, sir, you already know, we've got the script of games. We have got the announcers right here, something I didn't do last year. On the computer, we have the announcers for all the games, and we're going to go through them, make it kind of a quicker video than I filmed almost half of it yesterday, and it took like 30 minutes to film half the video, and that's not what we want, so we're going to try to make these faster. I'm just going to kind of go through really quick, say some stuff, and then make my pick. Yesterday, I went all in depth and stuff, and we're not going to do that. It's going to take too long. So, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to start. Thursday Night Football, we're going to kick it off tomorrow night, 7:20 p.m. 7:20 Central, 8:20 Eastern, on NBC. It is the Cowboys. It is the Buccaneers, everybody. Dallas Cowboys are coming off a disappointing season. They finished 5-11 or 6-10, I don't remember. But Dak Prescott returning from injury. They have their same core of weapons on offense. Their defense is a big question mark. They made a lot of changes in the offseason, but will it be ready to go week 1? I don't know. We've got the Tampa Bay Bucks. We already know Bucks, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL right now. Hard to dispute. Best defense in the NFL. They have a core of receivers that are good, as well as they have Tom Brady. And I know Tom Brady's not a top 5 quarterback anymore, and I'll agree by saying that. I will agree Tom Brady is not a top 5 quarterback. But it's Tom Brady. And I would, in my personal argument, I would say that at this point, it's a debate. Is Tom Brady better than Dak Prescott? Let's have a debate on that. But for this game, the announcers, NBC, so we got Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. The regular Sunday night crew is calling this Thursday night game, but they're also calling the Sunday night game, so they have 2 this week. But, yep. So for this game, we have the Cowboys, who struggled on defense last year and are looking for a comeback in the NFC East this year. And we've got the Bucks, who, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL. Season opener, Bucks at home, hard not to take them. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Dallas Cowboys. For our second matchup, we have 2 pretty disappointing teams. It's the Jaguars, it is the Texans. So, I almost just started with Texans. I have to remember this, because I'm facing the set where they're reversed, because on camera, the Texans are at home, but for me, it looks like the Jaguars are at home, because it's reversed, because I'm looking at the set. Oh, that's absolute science, guys. But we've got the Jaguars and Texans, 12 o'clock Central on CBS. I'm sorry, I know I should use Eastern Time since it's the standard time, and everywhere, everyone uses Eastern Time. But guess what? I live in Minnesota, so I'm just used to saying Central Time, so you're going to have to live with it, okay? Well, now that that's out of the way, we've got the Jaguars and we've got the Texans. 2 pretty disappointing teams going up against each other. For the Jaguars and Texans game, it is on CBS, 12 o'clock, like I said. Greg Gumbel, Adam Archuleta, and AJ Ross are the announcers. I might not get all the announcer games correct. I'm sorry about that. I'm not the best at pronouncing names of announcers. I don't know everyone. I don't know every single crew that's out there, but I know most of them. Personally, Greg Gumbel, I'm not going to go into announcers and stuff, but I could. If I really wanted, I could say who I like, who I don't like. And personally, I'm not really a fan of Greg Gumbel, but, that's okay. People kind of have their opinions. But for this game, it is the Jaguars, it is the Texans. Jacksonville Jaguars had the first pick in the draft. They went with Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. Otherwise, I guess their team's not great. I don't know what else to say besides that. I mean, we know that this team is not a playoff team by any means. Jaguars are not near the playoffs this year. Next year and in upcoming years, could they be? If they make some additions and good draft picks, the Jaguars could. with Urban Meyer, new head coach, I think that's really going to help them a lot more than whoever they even had. I don't even remember who the Jaguars coach was before this. Then we have got the Houston Texans, who are without Deshaun Watson as he's still undergoing his allegations and stuff. So Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback. Is he good? Not really, but he's decent. He's decent enough to be a starting quarterback. But as for the Texans, are they the worst team in the NFL? Yes. I'm a Viking fan, so I see the Lions every year, and I personally would say that the Lions are not the worst team in the NFL. Texans are worse. So, for this game, we have the Jaguars, who are not good. We have the Texans, who are also not good. But it's the first pick in the draft, and because I like Trevor Lawrence, and I really do like him, I'll be honest, I'm going to go with the Jaguars. But also keep in mind, guys, the last four number one overall draft picks have tied an NFL game before winning. And if there's any game on this schedule this week that's going to end in a tie, this is the game. So this is the game I would put watch on for a tie. But for this game, I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I just feel like the Texans, Deshaun Watson's like they're one of their only good players. So without Deshaun, they're not really going to make it anywhere. Nope, I'm going to go with the Jaguars. It is the Cardinals and it is the Titans coming up next. The Arizona Cardinals didn't make the postseason last year, but they could have. I did not say the announcer, so let's do it. This is also a CBS game, 12 o'clock. I believe. I might actually have it wrong. Cardinals, Titans, found them on the bottom. Tom McCarthy and Tiki Barber are the announcers. Personally, I know who Tiki Barber is as a football player, but as an announcer, I don't know. And Tom McCarthy, I do not know him either, so no opinion on the announcers for this game. Cardinals and Titans. The Cardinals did not make the playoffs last year, but they could be a sleeper team to make it this year. With Kyler Murray at the helm, I like Kyler Murray, but I also do doubt him a lot. I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray person, to be honest. But for this game, I don't know. Cardinals are going to be looking pretty good this year. But on the other hand, we've also got the Titans, who are also going to be looking pretty good this year. Titans made some good additions in the offseason. They signed Julio Jones as well as Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, and Julio Jones is from Atlanta. I like both teams in this matchup, to be honest. I like the Cardinals. It's week 1. It is on the road, which does make it tough, yes. Now that there are fans back in the stands, home and road will play a factor for me. Last year really didn't play a factor, but this year it will be a factor in these games. And then they're going up against the Titans, who are at home, and the Titans are going to be looking pretty good this year. They made good additions in the offseason, and they already looked pretty good beforehand. So for this game, home field advantage is going to be one of the factors I'm looking at, but as well as offseason additions. Again, they did get the Cardinals also did get AJ Green and J.J. Watt in the offseason, but still not going to be enough for this game. I am personally going to go with the Tennessee Titans to take the win over the Cardinals. So, interesting matchup right here. Still 12 o'clock CBS games. I'll let you know when they're not. We have the Chargers and we have Washington. For this game, the announcers Sparrow Deeds or Sparrow DDs. I don't know. I've never heard of him. And then we got Jay Feely. Jay Feely's been around he's been around for a while, so Jay Feely's not bad. But as for Sparrow, I've never heard of him. So, here's the analysis for this game. I like both teams coming into this game. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Am I going to start a debate about him or Justin Jefferson? You know, I'm a Viking fan, but I'm not going to start a debate. I could, but I'm not going to. But we've got the Chargers. They are an up-and-coming team that this year could be a playoff team. And then we've got Washington, who also could be a playoff team. They are, in my opinion, the only team in the NFC East that could make the playoffs as a wild card is Washington. The only other way any other NFC East team other than Washington is going to make it is by winning the division. Let's say the Cowboys win the division. The only other team that has a chance at making the wild card is Washington. No other team is going to be that good. But first off, it doesn't even matter because I think Washington's going to win the division, so that part doesn't matter. But as for Chargers, as for Washington, Chargers, I like them this year. Really do. No major injuries to report over there. And then we've got Washington, also no major injuries to report. But I do like Washington, and I do like the Chargers. It's a tough pick for me. Most games, actually, on here, a lot of the games, I already kind of have the winner picked. I don't write it down, but I usually just have a winner in my head on who I'm going to pick, and then I kind of base my talking off that. But for this game, I really don't have a winner picked. So, we're going to go with Washington. That's just who I feel on the whim. I just have a gut feeling in Washington. I like them at home. I thought about picking the Chargers, but yesterday when I actually filmed this video, I did pick the Chargers, but today when I'm filming it, instead, we're gonna go with the latter. We are going to go with Washington to take the win over the Chargers. This is actually a good matchup for unknown reasons. We've got the Jets and we've got the Panthers. In this game, the announcers on CBS, Andrew Catalon, James Lofton, and Sherry Burruss. Hope that's how you say her name, assuming that's a her. Could be a guy, actually. We're going to Google it to make sure. I've confirmed it is a female. I just wanted to make sure. Hey, this is 2021. You never know. So, yes, Sherry Burruss. However you say her name, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Then Catalan Lofton. I don't know that announcing group. I don't know a lot of the CBS announcers, actually, besides Nance in the Romo gang, the Ian Eagle gang, the Kevin Harlan, and then I do know Greg Gumbel. But I only know really those ones because I'm a Viking fan, so most of the games are on Fox, so I know a lot more Fox announcers. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into the announcers again. But we have the Jets and Panthers. Interesting game. This is a revenge game for Sam Darnold, who's the Panthers quarterback. Sam Darnold was traded to the Panthers this offseason from the Jets. The Jets drafted him as the 3rd overall pick in, I believe, 2018. And this year, the number 2 overall pick was by the Jets, and they drafted... who did they draft? Yesterday, I had a problem remembering his name. Sam? Nope, not Sam. Guys, why actually can't I remember his name? Zach Wilson. Bam, I remembered. I'm just kidding, I didn't remember. I had to Google it. I Googled Jets quarterback. Zach Wilson. I just keep having my brain on Sam Darnold because that's just who I've been saying for the past, 3 years. Zach Wilson is the quarterback for the Jets. Again, a lot of people did doubt him, but he did look pretty good in the preseason, at least to me. I didn't watch a lot of the preseason, but from what I heard, he looked pretty good. Sam Darnold, is he going to get his rebirth in Carolina? I actually think so. A lot of people are talking about how he didn't really get a good system and how he was just kind of trial by fire with the Jets. And I have to agree. I think that Sam Darnold could have a renaissance with the Panthers, and I would actually really love to see it. Christian McCaffrey is healthy again for the Panthers this year. Robbie Anderson, who is also on a revenge game because he used to play for the Jets. And then DJ Moore as well. I like the Panthers. I like the Panthers' weapons. I like the Panthers' offense. So for this game, I'm going to have to go with the Panthers. Sam Darnold revenge game. Robbie Anderson revenge game. It's kind of hard not to like the Panthers in this one. So that's what I'm going to go with. Carolina Panthers take the win over the New York Jets. I still have to keep moving faster, but we're getting there. This is our final game on CBS for the early games. It is the Steelers and it is the Bills coming up. Ian Eagle is the announcer for this game with Charles Davis and Evan Washburn. Ian Eagle is my favorite announcer in the NFL. I just really like his enthusiasm and I love his touchdown calls. He's just a really nice guy and I really like him. So, that is my thoughts on the announcers. Then, we've got this game, Steelers-Bills. This is an interesting one. Steelers won 11-0 to start the year last year. Was it a fluke? Yeah. As they got eliminated in the first round by the Browns. Then we've got the Buffalo Bills, made it to the AFC Championship, almost to the Super Bowl. Could they be a Super Bowl team this year? I'm not gonna shut it down. There's definitely a possibility. Are the Steelers a Super Bowl team is the question, and the answer is no. Are the Steelers a playoff team? And that is yes. They could be a wild card team. It's hard to see them winning the AFC North again this year with the Ravens in it and my pick, which is the Browns. It is hard to see with the Ravens and Browns. Both teams are capable. And then there's also the Bengals, but the Bengals aren't really division winning worthy. They're worthy of being good, but they're not division winning worthy. Could the Steelers win the AFC North? I don't think so. But the Bills, they have a pretty clear shot of winning the AFC East. Their only competition to me is the Patriots. I get that the Dolphins could, and I'm not going to share my pick for that game, but I already do have it picked. Yeah. So for this game, Steelers at home. Are they at home? Yes. It's reversed again. The set's reversed, so it's hard to tell which team is at home. Bills are at home. I like them. It's going to be a raucous crowd out at whatever their stadium name is. It just changed like 3 times in the past years. So I do think that the crowd is going to be a factor. I think that Buffalo is going to look good in this game, and I think this is going to be a revenge tour for the Bills, and they're going to be looking to get back to the AFC Championship, and they're going to be looking to push into the Super Bowl. But as for the Steelers, are they really going to be pushing into the Super Bowl? I don't think so, and that is why I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills on this match. Bills' revenge tour begins now. Buffalo Bills beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Beginning the early games on Fox, we have the 49ers and Lions. Announcers for this game are Kevin Kugler sounds more right, Mark Sanchez, and Laura Oakman. I personally don't know this group actually, so no opinion. 49ers and Lions coming up next. The 49ers, in my opinion, they are Super Bowl contenders, which sounds crazy. This team finished 5-11 last year, and they were last in their division. But this team is no joke. If they fire on all cylinders, if everyone remains healthy this year, they are a Super Bowl contending team. Last year, they obviously had a bunch of major injuries, and that was really what hurt them. Offense, they have weapons. Brandon Ayuk in his second year. They have Raheem Mostert. They have Trey Sermon. They have Deebo Samuel. Jimmy Garoppolo, you can say what you want about him. I'm not going to say anything about him. Then Trey Lance, eventually he'll be the starter. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because I actually have him as a backup quarterback in one of my fantasy leagues. Trey Lance, he's from Minnesota. He's actually from Marshall, Minnesota. But as for this match, then the Lions, the Lions are kind of a dumpster fire at this point. DeAndre Swift, they don't have any wide receivers. Literally, they had Brashad Perryman, but they cut him, and I'm not really sure why. Then they have Tyrell Williams as their top receiver, and Jared Goff as their quarterback, and their defense is not very good either. It's kind of hard to see any life in the Lions at this point. So, really easy choice for me. It's at least going to be a 2-score win, and I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Eagles and Falcons are coming up next. This is kind of a boring game. This is that one game, where it's like the NFC, but no one really cares about the game. That is what this game is right here. We have the Eagles and we have the Falcons. So, the Philadelphia Eagles and Falcons. Announcers for this game: Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Pam Oliver. I like Kevin Burkhardt, I like Greg Olsen, and I like Pam Oliver. So, good trio right there. Now that that's out of the way, we can talk about the game. Eagles, they're not looking very good. Currently, I would say the Giants have a small shot at winning the NFC East, but they have a far shot. Though the football team is my favorite team to win, and then we've got the Cowboys, who I could see winning it, and then there's the Eagles, and the Eagles really don't have a chance. At least in my opinion, I don't see the Eagles winning the division. I don't see the Eagles making the playoffs this year. So, as for the Eagles, they're not looking very good. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. They also brought in Gardner Minshew just last week or a couple weeks ago. Jalen Reagor, year 2. Say what you want. They still passed on Justin Jefferson, which is kind of funny. Then we've got the Falcons. Falcons aren't great either. Their quarterback, Matt Ryan, former MVP, but that was actually 15 years ago, I feel like. And then they have Calvin Ridley, who I really like at wide receiver. I have him in a couple of my fantasy leagues too. Calvin Ridley, I think, is a really good receiver, and he could really be a game changer in fantasy football. So, I don't like the Eagles, but I kind of like the Falcons. Neither team is a playoff team, but I guess we're going to go with the Falcons with the win. Falcons have a little bit more figured out than the Eagles, but really both teams aren't great, and I don't even know who the Falcons running back is. So, I'm not going to comment on that. But Falcons take the win over the Eagles. Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts are coming up next. Yes, sir. 12 o'clock on Fox, just like the next couple games are. For this game, Kenny Albert is the announcer. I really like him. Jonathan Vilma, Sarah Walsh. I don't know Sarah Walsh, but I do know Jonathan Vilma, and he's mediocre. But I do like Kenny Albert. But I will not be watching this game. I will be watching the Vikings-Bengals game, which I'll be talking about next. As for this game, Seahawks-Colts, this is a pretty interesting game. Seattle Seahawks, dangerous as always. Are they a Super Bowl contender? I would say they have an outside shot at being Super Bowl contenders, but I'm not going to rule it out. And then we've got the Indianapolis Colts. Are the Colts Super Bowl contenders? No. Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback, but as we know, he's injury prone. They've also got T.Y. Hilton, who's also injured right now. I believe he's on the injured reserve with some back issue, but again, he's like 50 years old, so whatever. Michael Pittman, I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and I do really like Michael Pittman. They also have Zach Pascal as a wide receiver. If you guys don't know, I caught a pass from him at my Vikings versus Colts preseason game. I went to the game, my first ever Vikings game. Check out the vlog. But yeah, so I caught a pass from him, so he's pretty cool. Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, they have pretty good weapons on offense. And of course, defense, Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner. That's really all I need to say. They're pretty good. And then they've got the former Viking, Xavier Rhodes. And then we've got the Seattle Seahawks, just like always. Offense is good. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny. You already know. So at this point, it's hard. It's hard to make a pick. Oh, I forgot a comment. Quentin Nelson was also hurt in the preseason. Maybe training camp, I don't remember. It might have been before the preseason started. But will Quentin Nelson be healthy? I'm really not sure. I think he will. Same with Carson Wentz. He was also hurt. Will he be ready? I think so. But the question is, those are some of their two best players, and will they be at 100%? Well, Carson Wentz isn't one of their best players, but he's also a key position player for them. Quentin Nelson, arguably the best player on the team. I mean, just look at the dude. And then Carson Wentz, both hurt early in the preseason and training camp. So are they going to be ready? I don't know. And that's what I'm going to take advantage of. Due to the injuries to the Colts, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks in this game. Oh, you already know. It is the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. That is my team right there, the Minnesota Vikings. For this game, the announcers, 12 o'clock on Fox. The game I will be watching. Chris Myers, Daryl Johnston, and Jen Hale will be the announcers. Personal thoughts, I'm not really a big fan of Chris Myers, but whatever. But, Vikings, Bengals. The Minnesota Vikings, last year they finished 7-9, third in the NFC North. It was not great. Not a great year for the Vikings. They should be looking to rebound this year, which is great. I'm also not, again, remind you, I'm not looking at the preseason. When I talk about these games, I'm not looking at preseason records, because who cares? The Vikings finished 0-3 in the preseason, but does that mean anything? No. You know why? The Packers finished 0-3 as well, and they lost to the Texans and Jets. So no, preseason means nothing. So I don't care about the preseason. But Vikings made a lot of offseason additions. You can talk about the terrible defense all you want. But look at him. Danielle Hunter returning from injury. Anthony Barr hopefully returning from injury as he is dealing with a knee issue. But it's a big question mark on his timetable and when he'll be ready. Also on defense, they brought in Xavier Woods, Brashad Breeland, Patrick Peterson, Mac Alexander, who was with the Bengals last year. And Danielle Hunter returning, I already said that. Everson Griffin, Stephen Weatherly, bam. That's like their entire defense. That's like their entire starting defense. And it's all just additions that they made this year. Again, they have also Eric Kendricks, who missed the last 5 games of the year due to injury. Again, I already said Anthony Barr, he only played 2 games last year but because of pectoral injury, but now he's dealing with a knee injury. On offense, team is pretty good. Say what you want about their offense. They didn't do good in the preseason. I know they didn't do good in the preseason. But then again, Adam Thielen only played 4 reps. Justin Jefferson didn't play at all, and Dalvin Cook didn't play at all, and that's their top 3 players. Irv Smith is hurt. He'll be out for, it's looking like the entire year, which is really tough because Irv Smith was one of the great players on the Vikings, and he was supposed to have a breakout year this year. So it's really going to be tough without Irv Smith this year. But Tyler Conklin should still prove pretty good in this spot, as well as trading for Chris Herndon. Kirk Cousins, say what you want about him. He's a top 13 quarterback, not top 10 in my opinion. Yeah, no, you're probably surprised. Wait, I'm a Viking fan, and I just said Kirk Cousins isn't top 10. Yep, you heard me right. Cincinnati Bengals weren't good last year. They did add Trey Hendrickson on the defensive line, which is important to note. But they also will be without their number one corner this week. Former Viking Trey Waynes will be out for this game, reported by head coach Zach Taylor yesterday, or 2 days ago, I don't remember. But that is their best player, Trey Waynes, and I know he's good because he played for the Vikings for a few years, and I really liked him when he was here. So that's important. They're going to have Eli Apple step up in his place. And Justin Jefferson, he didn't have a preseason last year, so he doesn't need one this year. And Adam Thielen, he only got to play 4 reps in the preseason, but he still should be looking good. So you say what you want. A lot of people are picking the Bengals. And as a Viking fan, usually a lot of times I don't pick my team because I don't know why, I just don't. I'm not a biased fan. I'm not one that'll pick my team every week. When the Vikings and Ravens play Week 9, there's a high probability that I will not be picking the Vikings. And because I try and be as unbiased as I can, I'm still going with the Vikings on this game. I do like the Vikings and all their defensive additions, and I think that should be enough. I also didn't even talk about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow only played 3 reps in the preseason, 2 handoffs and a screen pass. Say what you want, you know. You can say, oh, he made his return in the preseason. He's going to be 100% ready to go with his game reps for Week 1. 3 reps, that doesn't really mean anything. It was 2 handoffs and a screen pass, so this really is going to be his first game action for the most part. His first time throwing downfield balls and stuff. So, Joe Burrow, first time really back. Danielle Hunter. It's hard not to like Danielle at this point, though, against Joe Burrow. So that is why I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings over the Cincinnati Bengals, and I really do hope that this game is right. I really hope I picked that right. Dolphins and Patriots are the next matchup coming up. This is a late game on CBS, our first one, which means 3:05 or 3:25 p.m. Central, 4:05, 4:25 Eastern. I don't know, it's one of the two. Patriots and Dolphins AFC East matchup. This is going to be a pretty good one. Announcers for this game, we have Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins. I like Kevin Harlan. I really do. What? I really do like Kevin Harlan, so I'm going to enjoy that part of it. But I know we don't get this game here in Minnesota. I know this is not one of the games that's airing. I believe we get the Browns and Chiefs game. But that doesn't really matter. For this matchup, we have the Dolphins and we have the Patriots. Dolphins just missed the postseason last year, going on a record of 10-6. Patriots also missed the postseason for the first time since, I believe, 2008, but that might be not correct. Patriots are looking to bounce back this year, and the Dolphins are looking to make the postseason this year. Personally, if any team makes the postseason, I think it would be the... I don't know which team it would be, actually. I do like Jalen Waddle being a new addition for the Dolphins. I have Jalen Waddle in a couple of my fantasy leagues, as well as Devontae Parker in one of them, too. But for this matchup, there's one deciding factor I have that I'm going to make the pick with. Dolphins and Patriots. And the one deciding factor that I'm going to make the pick on is Stephon Gilmore, who is the top corner for the Patriots. And he is, I believe, on the... which list? I think he's on the PUP list, or that might not be right, but he's on a list, and I believe he's out for the first 6 or 8 weeks of the year, which is important because that is their best corner, and that is why I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this game. Because of the Stephon Gilmore, that is going to be the reason I'm going to lean toward the Dolphins. Dolphins take the win over the Patriots. This is the game that we get here in Minnesota as the late game on CBS. It is it is the Browns and it is the Chiefs. Announcers for this game is the top CBS announcers. We already know. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. I like those 3. So enough about that. I do like them. But for this matchup, we have the Browns and we have the Chiefs on CBS late game as well. Browns last year made the playoffs, beat the Steelers, but they couldn't make it farther than that. They almost beat the Chiefs. And now we've got a rematch. Chiefs looking for a Super Bowl again. And personally, my AFC pick for the Super Bowl is going to be the Chiefs at this point. The only other team I would lean with is the Bills. But until we find a team worthy of knocking the Chiefs off, the Chiefs are going to make it every year. And it's really... let's be honest, the only team that could knock them off is the Bills at this point. So until we find a team that's really capable of it, I'm going to keep saying the Chiefs. And then we got the Browns, and the Browns are my favorite to win the AFC North. For this game, I like this matchup. Browns had a good draft. They got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the second round, I think. And then I believe they also got Greg Newsome. I believe they drafted him in the first round. Chiefs did not have a first-round pick because they traded for Orlando Brown in the offseason. Completely new offensive line, but how is it going to work out? Pretty good. It's really hard not to side with the Chiefs at this point. It's a home game. It's Kansas City, and it's kind of hard not to side with them. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but this is a close game. Chiefs over the Browns. Still a pretty long video, but whatever. As for our first late game on Fox, it is the Broncos and Giants. For this game, the announcers on this one, Broncos-Giants, Adam Amen, or Amen, I think it's Amen, I don't even know, Mark Schlereth, and Shannon Spark. I know it's Shannon, on here it says Shannon Spake, but I think they spelled it wrong. Shannon Spark, I believe. I don't really know that announcing crew, so no comment. This is a boring game that could be good. Broncos, this year they had so the Broncos had a quarterback competition, started in week 1 of the preseason, which was against the Vikings. The Vikings got destroyed by the Broncos. It was a bad game. Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, the former Viking, were going to get at it. The winner was Teddy Bridgewater, so Teddy Bridgewater will be the starting quarterback for this game for the Broncos. Broncos have a lot of weapons. They have Cortland Sutton. They have Javonte Williams, or Javon Williams. Is it Javonte, I believe? Javonte Williams. And they have Melvin Gordon, who I like. So, I like the Broncos. And then for the Giants, Danny Dimes, you already know. Daniel Jones, along with Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley returning from injury, who's on one of my fantasy teams. I know it was a big risky pick, but he was the best player that fell to the spot I had. So, Saquon, then they have Kenny Golladay now, Kyle Rudolph, who spent the last 10 years with the Vikings. And that's really about it. So, and Kadarius Toney. They drafted Kadarius Toney this year. As for this game, I do like the Broncos. I like Teddy Bridgewater. And I just think that the Broncos could be a sleeper team this year. So I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos over the New York Giants. This is our final late game on Fox. It's the Saints, and it is the Packers. This game, remind you, it is going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. As the first 2 Saints games of the year, I believe, will be in Jacksonville due to Hurricane Ida, which recently just ripped through New Orleans. So they cannot play at the Superdome, nor can they practice in New Orleans. So this game will be in Jacksonville, which is an important factor. Announcers for this game, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi, which is the top group on Fox. I know a lot of people don't like Joe Buck. I don't think he's that bad. I have no idea if the camera's straight or not, but I only have to film 3 more games. I just had to take a quick break. I only have to film 3 more, so if it's straight or not, I really don't care. Traquan Smith, by the way, was who I was thinking of, so yeah, figured that out. Again, Deontay Harris, Marquez, someone please comment. Tell me how you pronounce his name. Callaway, I do have him in one of my fantasy leagues. I just picked him up in free agency because I feel like he'd be a good addition. But, again, Packers Super Bowl contenders are the Saints playoff contenders. They're an outside playoff team. It's hard to see them in the playoffs at this point, but it's possible. Especially with the key injuries that they have so far at the beginning of the year. That's important to know, as well as losing Trey Hendrickson. But another important factor is the fact that this game is in Jacksonville, which means that home field advantage is really non-existent. Because the game is not in the Dome, it is not New Orleans, people are going to have to travel, which I'm sure people will do, but that really does eliminate a lot of home field advantage. And so that's why I'm going to side, another reason why I'm going to side with the Packers on this game. I think Packers should be able to beat the Saints pretty easily here. So Packers take the win. Sunday Night Football for the first time this year. It is the Bears. It is the Rams. Well, kind of Sunday Night Football because we also had it Thursday night. But Thursday Night Football really is Sunday Night Football this week. Oof, that's confusing. But we have Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, the same group as the Cowboys-Bucks game, but they get to call this game as well. So this is an interesting game. Chicago Bears, they're an outside playoff team, but they definitely do have a shot. They drafted Justin Fields in the first round, who I really like, and the Vikings thought about drafting him. But he was gone off the board before the Vikings could get to him at 14. So, the Bears, pretty good this year. And then we've got the Rams, who are Super Bowl contenders. Again, it's hard not to like them. The Rams traded away Jared Goff, which was one of their issues, for a quarterback being Matt Stafford with the Lions. That is really important to note. And that is one of the few gaps that the team had, so it's really going to help. Rams at home. It is going to be the first game with fans at the new SoFi Stadium. Personally, I'm not going to give my thoughts on the stadium. I don't really like the look of it. It's so flat. I do like the Raiders Stadium, which is what we're going to talk about in the next game. But as for this game, it's hard not to like the Rams in this one. Home game. Rams are Super Bowl contenders. Week 1. It's hard not to side with the Rams. So we're going to go with the Los Angeles Rams over the Chicago Bears. Last matchup of the week, it is the Ravens and the Raiders. This is the final one. Monday Night Football, it is Steve Levy, I don't know how you pronounce his name. I'll figure it out, though, this week. Brian Grease, Louis Riddick, Lisa Salters on the call. This game is broadcasted on ESPN, and I don't know if it's ABC around the entire country, but here in Minnesota, we do get it on ABC. So I don't know if that's the entire country or if it's just lucky here. But, yes. So, for this game, Ravens and Raiders, this is an interesting one. This game is the opener of Allegiant Stadium with fans for the first time. Beautiful stadium. I like it. I like it more than SoFi Stadium. The exterior at least looks better than SoFi Stadium. SoFi Stadium looks like a teardrop. Just look at an aerial view and you'll understand what I mean. But Allegiant Stadium, it's a nice round. It kind of looks like a basketball arena, but I do like it. So, we've got the Ravens. The Ravens have injury issues right now. Some of their key players, J.K. Dobbins is out for the entire year, which I'm kind of mad about. I drafted him in 2 of my fantasy leagues in the second round, I think. But now he's going to be out, so I had to make some trades and do some stuff. But, yeah, that wasn't great. So, that is going to be a big issue. But they do have Lamar Jackson, still not better than Josh Allen. But Lamar Jackson, he's good enough. He's pretty good. We'll just leave it at that. Again, they have Marquise Brown as their starting wide receiver. They also do have Rashad Bateman, who's a former Gopher. But he's going to be out for the beginning of the season with, I'm not really sure what the injury is. But, yeah, that's interesting. Then we've got the Raiders. The Raiders don't really have any major injuries. Derek Carr, like always. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing an upset, but I'm not going to. Close game, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. Monday Night Football, but I did think about the Raiders. So that is going to do it for the week. There you guys go. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, peace. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out. Skol Vikings. We'll see you next time.